Alright all, and welcome back to my Game Boy Grand Prix series, episode 10. We finally made it to double figures. The series where I've bought 25 Game Boys, all of them with spares and repairs. I work out how much it costs to repair them, do the appropriate mods or fixes, and then see if I can make a profit on them at the end of selling them all. So, episode number 10 is Game Boy number 9. Trust me, that makes sense. So this is one I was really looking forward to. So if anyone else has watched some of my content before, I actually had, this was like this model of Game Boy, this special Pikachu edition, which looks absolutely fantastic, even with a few scruffs and bits of dirt and whatnot. This was actually the first Game Boy I ever had as a kid. It's just an absolute fantastic, it's so nostalgic. From what I can remember from the video, it's in pretty good nick. I don't really like doing a lot to these kinds of consoles. They're normally, I mean, as long as they're in good condition, they don't have no scruffs on the corners or anything, which actually is one of the major things you should look out for. There's not actually much in terms of permanent damage on this. I'm hoping a big cleanup will kind of sort this out. But yeah, I don't really like changing the parts on these things just because there's a real market for these guys basically being fake, where you can normally tell where they've got miscoloured buttons. There's normally like a light blue button instead of the green, and it just looks a bit not nice. Whereas these guys are just, this seems to be completely authentic. What was wrong with this? So it needs a new battery cover. Yeah, like most Game Boys, the battery cover's just pinged off it at some point in time. Starting to select no worky. We've had this in the past before on separate Game Boys. Even I've had it in the past before doing this series. It normally just means they need a good clean. And then, so this is what I was getting to about parts. What I'm actually going to do is put on a new screen, a new glass screen. Now, basically, as much as I said I don't like doing this, I mean, no one wants to play a Game Boy with an all scratchy screen, so there's that. But a relatively quick fix today. We're going to give it a good clean, and then really, if everything goes well, touch wood, trust me, there's wood off camera there, all we're going to be doing is sticking a new screen lens on that I just mentioned, and the battery cover. So let's do the standard thing, montage. So, on further inspection, this console was practically clean. Like, on the inside, there was hardly any dirt. There was just kind of the standard dirt that you get around the buttons, but nothing major, no big bits of grime. I did happen to bend this battery connector back in place a little bit, and I'm just going to do it right now for the shell side. I was originally, I don't know if you can see that, it's a little bit just bent out of place. It'll still work if you jam the batteries in, but I just kind of want it to get a little bit better. There's no reason I can't just bend it into place with these. Yeah, so I was expecting a lot more kind of dirt and everything in it, but it's actually not too bad. The console seems to have hardly been played with. I did want to think about kind of changing these battery connectors, but honestly I don't see too much of a point. If I can kind of just bend them back to something normal-esque, then they should be good to go. But no, it was really clean. The screen came off alright, and the new one looks really, really good. I'm going to pull off the protective film on that in a sec. I think that should be okay just for now. I can do a little bit more later. So let's get this screen protector off, this final little bit. Hopefully I should be able to just get my little tweezers under the bit of film, and then we'll be able to see a difference between this and the one that was on it originally. There we go, it's coming. Which, like I say, I don't like changing. Wow, it's so much better. Look at that, it looks so much nicer than having the big beastie scratches in it, and it's actually pretty good quality as well. To compare it against the original one, I've still got it over here. So you can see it's definitely different in colour. I don't think that's faded or anything. I think that's literally the colours that they were on basically the console's release. But just having, I mean, you can see hopefully the kind of scratches in that. I mean, they are full on scratches. There's nothing unfortunately I could do about that. A few little scrimps and scrapes I can kind of deal with, but I mean, that's going to affect how people play and really annoy them. It'd annoy me, so I'd expect it to annoy other people. But yeah, so that was just that part. I mean, obviously the final thing, if you could call it fixing the console, is getting a new battery pack for it. I'm hoping that once we stick the batteries in a sec, that a good clean to the start and select, as you saw earlier, will have fixed the reason why they weren't working. So let's pop them in there. Let's pop this lovely new battery cover in, which to my eye I can't really see a difference. It does look a little, maybe a tiny bit dissimilar colour, but I can't really tell. That looks good to me. Let's get Pokemon Red, because that's the game we use for testing. Pop that in there. Give the screen a bit of a wipe down where my greasy fingers have been. Not because of any reason other than fingers just have grease. Right, we're still turned on. That's a good sign. Let's see. Right, yeah. Loady. Come on. Sounds good. Air's working. Let's just go back into the game. Okay, so start's working now. And select doesn't really do much on Pokemon Red. It's not until like Gen 2 where you could register stuff. Normally how I work it is if start works then select works. But no, actually that's checked out really well. I'm really happy with that. It's quite a quick little fix on this one. I'm glad, because like I say, these Pikachu ones, the special edition Pikachu ones from like the 2000, is like quite sought after. People really like this Game Boy, including me. So it was quite a fast little build. I'm happy with how it turned out. Like I say, the shell and everything in it is in absolute amazing condition. It was unfortunate that the screen was so badly scratched, but I mean, it's in a really awful position to be in with stuff like this. It's like, do you get rid of the original parts, even though it's quite rare to make it playable or not? Whereas I predominantly sit in the camp of things need to be playable rather than just sat there as a collector, which, don't get me wrong, I have collectibles, but still, you know what I mean. But no, all the parts I got from, I actually got them from Z Labs this time, just because they did some of the parts that other places didn't. They all seem really well. The screen's in seems really good quality. I'm really happy with that, actually. Now let's talk about what we always talk about, money. So as you can imagine, this obviously didn't cost a lot to repair. There wasn't too much wrong with it. It all seems to operate absolutely fine, and it was actually really clean and was obviously very well looked after. The Game Boy itself, as I always say, I bought all 25 Game Boys for £20, so we put £20 straight on the board. The glass screen lens was £3.92, and the battery cover was £3.60, both of which were from Z Labs. If you're in the UK, I really suggest you check them out. They've got some really good quality gear. In total came to £27.52, which, like I say, if you compare it to the last one, which in total cost 150 quid, that's got nothing on it. How much do I think I'd sell this for? So normal Game Boy colours go anywhere between 50 to 60 if they're in good condition. These I've seen go for quite mad money, to be honest with you, in really, really good condition. Some go for anywhere between, I've seen some go for £60 all the way up to 100 for just kind of the console alone without any box or anything with it. I'm probably going to aim for about the, I don't know, maybe the kind of 70 to 90 benchmark. Again, I always say this is a price based on what I kind of know. I might be completely wrong, and how the market changes at the time, but that's kind of my aim for it. I know it's not got the original kind of screen, but hopefully people appreciate that you can actually see the screen now without scratches, rather than having the original scratchy, scuffed screen. But yeah, about 70 to 90 quid. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've kind of enjoyed scrubbing things up. I was actually hoping it'd be a lot dirtier, because I like it when they're really dirty. I really get a nice therapeutic vibe out of just cleaning all the kind of crap out of them, but hey ho, there we go. Hope you tune in for it next time, guys. Have a good day. See you later.